And hit it.
Is it them again, Yogi?
Yes, Boo-Boo. It's them again. It's the politicians.
Oh, darn, Yogi. When will it stop?
It will never stop, Boo-Boo. It will never stop.
Howdy and good morning. Welcome to Jay Thomas Radio and his Oklahoma News Review, where we take a few minutes frolicking through the news here in the great state of Oklahoma. Now set back a spell and enjoy the vocal warblings of Jay Thomas. Take it away, Jay.
And thank you, Johnny. Welcome back. Jay Thomas Radio. Radio on the right. And we have some news out of Arcadia, the Arcadia shooting out of Edmond, Oklahoma. Not very good news, but it's news. All right, let's go right to, this is from the news conference concerning the Arcadia shooting in Edmond. Get ready, here it goes. This is from KOCO, News 5, ABC News in Oklahoma City. Shanice Hopkins, and take it away, Shanice.
What happened at Lake Arcadia was heartbreaking. Our hearts are with all the young people, with all the families and everyone impacted. These are our people, these are our community, these are our kids.
No, it's our community. It's everybody's community. These aren't your kids, unless you know what's going on. I mean, you know some of them. This is the us against them.
These are, our loved ones. These things don't just happen out of nowhere, and they are a result sometimes of generations and generations of unmet needs and years of
Yes.
unmet needs. When people don't.
Yes, because they had unmet needs. Remember that phrase, unmet needs. They had enough needs to get a shotgun.
Don't have access to opportunity, where there's a lack of support, when
Yeah, the opportunity to get a shotgun.
trauma goes unaddressed, when young people feel unseen and unheard, it builds,
Unseen.
and over time that pressure shows up in harmful ways like we saw at Lake Arcadia.
There's two groups of thugs. They got into a fight. And then one group of thugs came back with a shotgun and shot the other group of thugs. That's what happened. Well, let's continue at all the unmet needs.
That doesn't excuse the violence,
Right.
but it helps us to understand it and understand why it happens. And when we're serious about preventing violence, when we're serious about intervening before violence happens,
If you intervened before the violence happened, if you went out there, if the police went out there and said, hey, you guys don't have a right to be here, you don't have a permit to be here, you're too young and there's too many people here and get out of here, they would have been attacked as racists. This guy has a big stupid X on his hat, so he must know something. Let's listen.
we can deal with it at the root before it
At the
ever
root.
happens. Today we stand in solidarity
The root causes. Kamala's still getting at the root causes of illegal immigration.
with those who are affected, but solidarity can't be just words. It has to come with action. So as a community, it is our responsibility to address gun violence, not just after something has happened, but before it happens. That means investing in our communities, investing in our young
Money.
people, and supporting
Money.
the organizations and the people who are on the ground every
Money.
day doing the work.
Money. Money, money, money. If we had more money, this stuff wouldn't happen. Well, they had enough money to have 8 grills going full of food. They had enough money. Each one of them had a cell phone. They had enough money to have boom boxes and music. They had enough money to drive their cars there, and they had enough money to buy a shotgun. So, I don't know. I don't understand the need for more money. And nothing is being reported. I'm trying to find this one thing. Nothing's being reported on it. We know as much as we did yesterday that there were 23 injuries, quote unquote, We don't know how many people were shot. We have no, how many people were run over with cars. How many people were, I don't know, trampled. They break their arms. What's going on? Nothing. Not one thing. They won't release one thing because the victims and the perpetrators are black. That's why. And this is annoying. This is the politicians. This guy with the X on his hat, he's a politician. The guy behind him is a politician. The chick next to him is a politician. The black guy over there is a politician. They're all politicians. And they're all coming in here and they're saying a bunch of words that don't make sense, that are complete lies. But you know what? We're going to fall for it again. People are going to come out there. The useless mayor of Oklahoma City, the new mayor, because he just got sworn in for another term, he's supporting Mayor Nash. Oh, okay. Well, he got my support, man. Let's listen to a little bit more. Take it away.
We need more resources for community violence intervention. We need more pathways for young.
You know what the resources for community violence intervention? They're called parents. They're called dads and moms and family. That's what that's called. I'm sorry. You don't need any more. We have resources called cops, but every time the cops get involved, well, then they're called racists. Let's listen to some more of this nonsense.
Young people to feel safe, to feel valued, and
just
to
shaking her head
for
like
themselves.
Frickin'
Because
seal.
if we don't invest on the front end, it'll play out on the back end.
Oh, they're going to play out on the back end stuff. Okay, so if you don't give us money up front, they're going to do this again. And remember what he said. This is our gold medal place to hang out is Arcadia. Lake Arcadia is our gold standard according to Nash. A little bit more.
With losing more lives.
They didn't lose any lives.
This
They're just
moment
shot.
has to be a wake-up call, not just for the community.
I'm done. Oh, okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. Here's some witnesses.
It was so many shots just coming from everywhere. All the bullets were just flying through.
It happened kind of sporadically. And then slowly we started seeing cars started just flying down the road past
White
us.
boy.
23 people hurt in a shooting during a party at Arcadia Lake, and right now a search for the shooter, and we have been following.
Somebody knows who that shooter is. I guarantee you, those 23 people, they know who that shooter is. You can't tell me that they had at least 100 cameras out there that nobody got a picture of the shooter. But the police, they are not releasing any things. The mayor, nothing. Mayor Nash, again, it's the most desirable and safest communities, except Lake Arcadia, apparently. It's one of the community's crown jewels. Crowned with lead, but they're still a crown jewel. And we are a strong and engaged community, and we support one another. And we face our challenges directly, and we move forward together. That's what you're going to get. Oh, let's take a look at what the police have to say. The Edmond police. The incident occurred during an unsanctioned party. No kidding. Responding officers located numerous individuals with injuries after receiving multiple 911 calls. No kidding. Investigators are actively working the case and are not releasing suspect information at this time. You'll never release it. You'll never get it. There's no reason to believe there is an ongoing threat to the public, except there's a thug out there with a shotgun. And we'll get to who likes shotguns in a second. Now this is the media note. That's for you and me, people. Meaning what we're going to say to the public, right? Because the media is supposed to report it to the public. The Edmond Police Department will not be conducting an on-camera interviews this morning. A media briefing will be held either later this afternoon or tomorrow or whenever else you just forget about this thing, okay? I just added that, but that's not the point. This is what you're getting. You get it from the police, the mayors, the black leaders. You had to have an X on your hat just in case you don't understand who this guy is. He's the black leader. and he needs more money, so these people won't go out there again in the crown jewel of Edmond and shoot it up again with their, apparently they just have these really poor shotguns. And this is what you're going to get. This is what we're getting. Don't expect any more, because the politicians aren't going to allow it. They are not going to tell you the truth. They are not going to point these people out. They're not going to find out who this guy is, because the people who were there at the party, those people will not turn them in. They're going to wait. Someone's going to find the guy who did it, and they're going to shoot him, and he's going to end up dead, you know, because this is the way these things go. But they need more money, and they need more resources, because they didn't have enough resources. I thought that, did you see the advertisement for the Sunday Fun Day? They had 8 grills full of food. They had music they were going to be dancing to, and it was only for good people, by the way. So this is what you're going to get. You're going to get garbage like this. And who likes shotgun? Who likes shotguns?
Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun. You don't need 30 rounds to protect yourself. Buy a shotgun.
Buy a shotgun. So it was, the good news is that it was perpetrated, the shooting was perpetrated by Biden's favorite weapon, a shotgun, because we all know that shotguns don't hurt people if you know, they just scare people, according to Biden. So buy a shotgun and take it to Lake Arcadia next time, because there's going to be one there. You know it. You know there's going to be one, because the politicians aren't going to do jack crap about this, okay? And this is, there's more. If you want to hear the summation of this, all this garbage, because it's going to come to this, I'm telling you, it's going to come to this. It's going to come to, really to nothing, but it's going to come to, we all must get along. Listen to it. If you want to hear the mayor of the crown jewel, here he is defending himself and defending the people who went there that day and the people who shot the other people. He's basically defended them. Listen to what he says.
Why was there not a patrol?
Why was there not a patrol? Because
Why was there not a patrol? That's the question.
we don't patrol that 24 hours a day.
Because we don't patrol that 24 hours a day. You don't patrol a lot of things 24 hours a day. And apparently, in Edmond, that unless it's a secret to me, other people aren't just taking shotguns out and killing each other. But that's just me. I've never heard this before, except this. Let's see what he says.
Would you be considering doing so?
Would you consider doing so after this?
Reviewing all of our policies.
So they're reviewing all their policies. But I'll guarantee you, the first time a cop goes out there and breaks up a party with a bunch of black kids, he's going to be called a racist. Even though this is, and the guy with the X on his hat, he's the one that's going to be calling him a racist. And so is the politician, the black politician behind him, and the one next to him, and the one way back there. It might be it looks like a pastor. I guarantee you, they'll be calling him a racist. Hold on. So who's Malcolm X talking about? You ask. Well, who can stop this this incredible violence? Well, let's listen.
This moment has to be a wake-up call, not just for the community, but for our leaders, our institutions, and everyone with the power to make a difference. And it doesn't end.
You know who has the power to make a difference? The parents, not the politician. The parents have the power to make a difference, but they let their kids, ranging from 16 years old to 30, apparently, because that's the range of the victims. Okay, that's their age range, 16 to 30, out there twerking. Okay, and you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be letting, on a Sunday night, maybe you shouldn't be letting your 16-year-old go out to a lake to twerk. But that's just me. I don't know. Let's hear some more.
And start with just us. We're talking about the city, we're talking about the county, we're talking about the state, we're talking about the legislatures. City,
county, state legislatures, they want your money, because if they don't get your money, that more of this is going to continue. This is going to continue on because why should it stop? Oh, they're all out there with a heavy heart. They all look very concerned, but none of them is saying the parents should be ashamed of what's going on here. Nothing, not one word about the parents. And this is the Alpha Community Action Service or some crap like that. All right, let's listen to this.
People who have the power to invest in the work that all of us do every single.
See, the power to invest in the work that all of them do. So all these people want more money from you. And if you don't give it to them, well, you're going to have more deaths and, shootings and our crown jewel, Lake Arcadia. Hold on, let's go on. Let's continue.
Single day. We don't need temporary responses. We need long-term commitment.
Long-term
We
commitment.
owe that to the families. We owe that to.
You owe what to the families? The families owe us not to give their kids shotguns and tell them to go out and kill other kids. That's the families, the parents owe us.
Ourselves, we owe that to our young people, and that's why we're here today. So
the Utes of Oklahoma. Now this is, hold on, who's she?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shauna Smith, and I have the great privilege as serving on the advisory board with Live.
She is on the advisory board of what?
Free Oklahoma,
Live
along
Free
with these other
Oklahoma.
great organizational leaders here in the state of Oklahoma. And today, we stand here with really heavy hearts.
Well, she doesn't look like she has a heavy heart because she has a big smile on her face.
And we have to recognize and understand that we can't just pay attention to the logistics of why our youth were there.
What the hell does that mean? The logistics of why our Utes were there? They were there because their parents don't have any control over the Utes.
But we have to understand what has happened to them. And almost 48 hours ago,
we understand what happened to them. One group of thugs started fighting another group of thugs, and one of those group of thugs got a gun, came back, and shot the other group of thugs. That's it in a nutshell.
of course, our community experienced an act of violence, and that has truly shaken every part of us
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
as organizers on the ground and our state.
What organizers? What are you organizing? What are you organizing on the ground? What is this organization? What is this Alpha Community Organization? What is it? It's doing a piss poor job, apparently, because the violence that is going on in Chicago and a bunch of other places is coming here to Oklahoma. So congratulations.
And as community organizers, we are in these communities every single day.
Well, you're doing a bang-up job, lady.
We know these young people. We spend time with these young people. We
Well, if you know them, who's shot the other people?
go to the schools with these young people, so we understand and we make space to make sure that we are hearing their voices. And the folks.
That's another thing politicians say. They want to hear the voices because, they're. I get, you know what their voices sounded like? A shotgun.
Focus of this tragedy, again, cannot just be about logistics. These are
It's
our
not
babies.
about
This
logistics.
is someone's son.
It's about their babies, the 30-year-old babies. That they're, the 30-year-old and the 18-year-old babies. That's about their babies.
Someone's daughter, someone's nephew, someone's niece, someone.
By the way, did you hear yesterday we did a 911 call, and they specifically said females. They said that females are by the pavilion, and those are the people who were shot. So.
One's grandbaby. I have 4 sons myself, and so if
Good
I
for
would
you,
have
lady.
gotten a phone call with any of them, I don't know what I would have done. And so the continued violence against our young people, you guys, this is not normal.
The continued violence against your young people are the other people's young people. Okay, if you guys want to be your own little group of blacks, and that's what you want to be looked at. Okay, it's one group of blacks against another. That's not my fault then. I don't want to help. Why should I help? Why don't you help? Why don't this guy with a nice suit on, he seems to have some money. You pull out some money. And this guy with the X hat, stop buying $60 caps. Use that money for something else. It's all just garbage. Let's go.
Normal. This is not normal by
Yes,
any
it is.
means.
Yes, it is.
And so at
Unfortunately.
Live Free Oklahoma, our vision is very clear. We believe in a future where every community has to be safe. We believe that we have to be free from violence.
Every community, because every community is separate. You see that? That's what they want. They want to separate these communities. So the black community. So let's put it on the black community. Hey, black community, quit shooting each other. Start with that.
From gun violence, where young people can live and gather and
The gun didn't drive there in his car and shoot another gun. There was a guy there. There was a black kid there shooting another black kid with a gun, and apparently they hit a lot of females.
and grow without fear.
Oh yeah.
And that means investing in the work. We have to invest in the work that's happening on the ground
Invest
every single
means
day. and we
money,
cannot
your
wait
money,
until
because you know what? You're not giving them enough money. That's what it is. That's what it boils down to. They don't have enough money to get these people to stop twerking and shooting each other with shotguns. That's the whole program. That's the whole thing right there. If they had more money, they would stop this for somehow. I don't know, but they would. See, that's what it is.
moments like this. Right now, our team is on the ground. We are visiting schools. We are listening and supporting. We are committed to walking alongside this community.
The one thing their team won't do when they find out who did it is turn them in. That's what their team should do, but their team won't do it.
And doing whatever it takes to help. And we are standing strong with our community today.
Standing strong. There it is. There it is, there, Mayor. There it is. It's the standing strong. We are strong and engaged. We support one another. We face challenges directly, and we move forward together. If you just give us money, give us more money, and we'll be moving on, and you'll never see us again. No, they'll be hanging out in Lake Arcadia with their shotguns, and you poor schmuck, you're going to have to pay for it. So all this is what you're getting. You're not getting any answers. They are not going to hold a press conference. They are not going to tell you how many people were shot, how many people are trampled, how many people were hit with a car. They are not going to tell you what happened. They are not going to tell you how these kids got there. They're not going to tell you what they're going to do about it. And then you have the black community are all gathering around, and they're saying, hey, Whitey, it's your fault because you haven't given us enough money. But they did have enough money to have 8 grills and all that food and a sound system, and every one of them had phones, and they all had cars to get there, and they were all twerking. They had enough money to go to the twerking school. It was probably right by the Leering Center, and they all had that much money, and then they were out there Sunday night before school, and they had enough money to buy a shotgun and shells. They had to have a lot of shells, and then they had enough money to drive themselves to the hospital, because that's what was reported to. So I don't think it's money. I don't know. I don't think it's money. You have enough money for free food for everybody? 8 grills going, man? And enough money for only good people, it said on the advertisement. So it had some, good vibes and good people, and they had enough money for that, and they had enough money for the shotgun. And so they had more money for, I can't afford gas. Who has money for gas to drive all the way out to Lake Arcadia, the crown jewel of Edmond, and start shooting people? I don't have that money. Holy crap. So it's not money. But the politicians and the black politicians and the white politicians are going to screw you, and this is going to continue because nobody's going to be held accountable. They're going to say, this poor black child, he doesn't have enough money, and it's your fault. And see, so we're going to have to put this poor black child in a program and not send him to jail or anything else because he is a poor black child. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And they're going to call me racist, but I'm the only one saying it has to stop, and it has to stop. And where it has to start stopping is the parents. The parents of these thugs need to be held accountable. I'm sorry, it does. That's what it does. It's stupidity to say that we are all the same and we all just need to work harder. No, the parents of these people and the politicians need to make sure this doesn't happen again, but they won't. And the reason why is because the victims and the perpetrators were black. And that's the recipe for Chicago. So if you want Chicago here in Oklahoma, continue with this bull crap. And I'm going to tell you, you think the mayor of Oklahoma City is going to say this is a problem within the black community? No. You think the people at Edmonds the mayor of Edmonds is going to say that? No. You think anybody on any of the news channels are going to say that? No. But everybody knows it. It really sucks. It really does. And nothing's going to get done. And I guarantee you when they will not know who did this. They will not know. They're just going to, it's going to be ridiculous. Nobody's going to know anything any more than they do now. You know that? We are going to know less. We'll never know how many people are actually shot. I guarantee you. They're not going to report it. And when they do report it, they'll have to revise it. Get prepared. Get your boots on because the bull crap's going to get really, really deep. All right, people. Have a good day. We're going to do some more. We're going to be doing Oklahoma news now into the election because Oklahoma doesn't deserve this garbage. So thank you very much. We'll be back. Love you all. Bye-bye.